If you're watching this video right now, it means you're ready to uncover the truth about her feelings. And trust me, what you're about to learn will completely change the way you see her. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, because these insights are not something you'll hear anywhere else. And I want to know, drop your city in the comments so I can see where everyone is watching from. 1. She prioritizes you in subtle, consistent ways. The first undeniable sign that a woman is more invested than you think lies in the way she prioritizes you. Not through grand gestures or over-the-top declarations, but in subtle, consistent actions that speak volumes if you know what to look for. A deeply invested woman doesn't have to announce her feelings or constantly seek validation. Her commitment is woven into her everyday behavior, in ways that often go unnoticed by those who aren't paying attention. She will adjust her life around you without you ever explicitly asking her to, and she will do it naturally, without making it seem like a sacrifice. Notice how she manages her time. In the modern world, time is the ultimate currency, and the fact that she willingly allocates her most valuable resource toward you is a strong indicator of her investment. Whether it's clearing her schedule to spend an evening with you, rearranging plans to meet your needs, or checking in even during her busiest days, she communicates her priorities through her actions. These aren't acts of obligation or guilt. They are subconscious manifestations of care. She doesn't weigh whether it's convenient or efficient. She simply makes space for you, and that consistency is key. Over time, these small but persistent efforts compound into a clear pattern of emotional investment that can't be faked. Her communication patterns will reveal a lot, too. A woman who is deeply invested reaches out regularly, not just in response to crises or needs, but in the small, everyday ways that keep the connection alive. A simple message to ask how your day went, sharing something that reminded her of you, or making sure she follows up on something important to you. All of this is her silently saying, "You matter to me." She doesn't need to constantly verbalize her feelings because her attention is already proof. The subtlety is important here. She doesn't overwhelm. She doesn't demand. She simply chooses to show up consistently. And that reliability is a cornerstone of deep emotional attachment. Invested women also anticipate needs before they are even voiced. She notices when you're off, even if you haven't said a word. She understands your preferences, your moods, and your triggers, and she adjusts her behavior accordingly. This isn't manipulation or overstepping. It's a deep awareness that comes from care. She knows that being attuned to your emotional state strengthens the bond and demonstrates a level of commitment that goes far beyond superficial attraction. She remembers the small things, the details that others might overlook. Your favorite snack, the way you like your coffee, the subtle signs of stress, and she integrates them into her interactions, not for attention, but as proof of her investment in your well-being. Another element is the energy she puts into maintaining the connection. She invests effort without needing applause or acknowledgement. This might mean engaging in conversations that matter to you, sharing her thoughts vulnerably, or supporting you in ways that require patience and emotional labor. Deep investment is often quiet, invisible to the casual observer, but unmistakable to anyone paying attention. She isn't performing, she's present. She doesn't measure the returns on her effort. She simply values the relationship enough to show up, day after day, in ways that matter. Her prioritization also extends to her social world. She introduces you selectively to people she trusts, integrates you into her life, and navigates her relationships in a way that creates space for you. This is subtle, but it's a clear signal. She isn't compartmentalizing you as a temporary convenience. She is considering how you fit into her life as a whole. Even if she doesn't verbalize it, the way she allows you into her personal world reflects a level of commitment and investment that cannot be faked. Consistency over time is what makes this sign so telling. A single gesture could be misinterpreted. A one-time act could be coincidence, but a pattern of prioritizing your presence, your needs, and your comfort is unmistakable. It is a slow, steady reveal of her emotional architecture, how she arranges her priorities, energy, and attention to reflect her true feelings. Those who are emotionally intelligent can read this without needing explicit confirmation, because the truth is in the actions. She also balances her own independence with this prioritization. Deep investment doesn't mean losing herself or clinging obsessively. A woman who is truly invested will still have her passions, responsibilities, and autonomy, but she chooses to include you in her decisions, her moments, and her life rhythm. She's not sacrificing herself out of obligation. She's integrating you naturally because you matter enough to her to be part of her consistent attention and care. In essence, when a woman prioritizes you in subtle, consistent ways, she is communicating a depth of investment that words alone could never convey. It's not about declarations, it's about devotion expressed through action, patience, and presence. Recognizing these patterns requires attentiveness and understanding of female psychology, but once noticed, they are impossible to ignore. 2. She mirrors your emotions and values. The second unmistakable sign that a woman is far more invested than you think is the way she mirrors your emotions and aligns with your values. This isn't about imitation or superficial mimicry. It's a deeper, almost subconscious psychological connection that reflects how attuned she is to your inner world. A woman who truly cares and is emotionally invested doesn't just react to your presence. She resonates with your state of mind, your beliefs, and the rhythm of your life, often without consciously realizing she's doing it. This mirroring is subtle, yet profoundly revealing, because it demonstrates a level of psychological investment that goes beyond mere attraction or surface-level interest. From the very start, she begins to attune herself to your emotional frequency. She notices when you are energetic, stressed, frustrated, or elated, and her responses adjust accordingly. She will laugh when you laugh, slow down when you're quiet, and offer comfort without needing to be asked. This isn't manipulation, it's empathy in its purest form, expressed through a deep-seated desire to connect and maintain harmony. She mirrors not because it benefits her or because she's trying to please, but because your emotional state genuinely impacts her experience. She reflects your feelings back to you as a way of validating them, showing that she is engaged, present, and invested in more than just the superficial aspects of the relationship. This mirroring extends beyond emotions into the realm of values and beliefs. A woman who is deeply invested will align with the principles, goals, and priorities that define you. She will naturally support your passions, celebrate your victories, and even challenge you in constructive ways when necessary, because she internalizes your perspective and understands that your values are central to who you are. This is not blind agreement. It is the active integration of your worldview into her own, a subtle signal that she's thinking long-term about the connection and the role she plays in it. She begins to speak your language, both literally and figuratively, reflecting your humor, your phrasing, and your perspective in ways that feel seamless and natural. The intensity of this mirroring can often be seen in the way she communicates. She anticipates your needs and moods without overt discussion, adjusting her tone, choice of words, and even body language to match your energy. In social settings, she positions herself in a way that complements your presence, engaging with your ideas and highlighting your strengths without overshadowing them. She celebrates your opinions while subtly weaving her own perspective into the conversation, creating a balance that reinforces both connection and respect. This demonstrates her investment. She is not trying to impress, manipulate, or control. She is actively aligning herself with you because she is deeply connected to your world. Her mirroring also manifests in shared experiences and interests. While she maintains her individuality, she takes genuine interest in your hobbies, your passions, and the things that matter most to you. She doesn't feign enthusiasm. She engages because your joy resonates with her own emotional system. If you're passionate about a project, she will support it, provide input when appropriate, and celebrate milestones as if they were her own victories. This reflection of your world into hers is a subtle but powerful indicator of investment. It shows that your life, your emotions, and your goals are significant enough for her to care about and integrate into her own behavior. What makes this sign particularly revealing is the consistency of the behavior. Mirroring is not a one-time act or occasional coincidence. It is a repeated, persistent pattern that emerges naturally over time. The invested woman doesn't need constant reinforcement or attention because her alignment with your emotions and values flows organically. It's evident in the way she listens, the way she responds, and the way she participates in your life on multiple levels. Every subtle adjustment, every reflective action, is a signal that she is prioritizing the relationship and valuing your inner world as much as her own. In addition, her mirroring demonstrates emotional intelligence, patience, and the ability to read and adapt to complex social cues. She is aware, consciously or subconsciously, of what fosters connection, and she acts accordingly. This is why deeply invested women often feel like they get you in ways others do not. It is a combination of empathy, observation, and genuine care that allows her to respond to your emotions with nuance and authenticity. This psychological attunement is not something easily faked. It requires a level of consistency, attentiveness, and subtle integration that only comes from true investment in the emotional bond. By observing the way she mirrors your emotions and values, you gain insight into her level of commitment without needing explicit words. She is communicating through behavior, through alignment, and through resonance. Her presence in your emotional and value-driven world reflects a depth of care that cannot be dismissed or misunderstood if you are paying attention. 3. She protects, supports, and advocates for you quietly. The third, and perhaps the most revealing, sign that a woman is far more invested than you think is the way she protects, supports, and advocates for you quietly. This is the level of care that transcends words, public displays, and superficial gestures. It's a kind of devotion that exists in the shadows, unseen by the casual observer, but unmistakable to anyone who truly pays attention. She doesn't seek credit, she doesn't demand recognition, and she doesn't announce her loyalty. Her actions are subtle, consistent, and deeply revealing of her investment. When a woman is invested at this level, she becomes your silent ally, someone who shields your reputation, your emotions, and your well-being without needing to be acknowledged. She notices threats, both obvious and subtle, and intervenes in ways that protect your energy, your peace, and your image. It could be as simple as diffusing tension in social settings, redirecting conversations to prevent embarrassment, or quietly correcting misinformation about you without making it a spectacle. The key here is subtlety. She doesn't make a show of it because her motivation isn't to impress or to be seen. It is purely rooted in care. This kind of behavior reflects a profound sense of emotional investment because she is willing to expend her energy and attention to ensure your life remains smoother, safer, and less chaotic. Support is another core aspect of this sign. She invests emotionally and mentally in your goals, ambitions, and challenges. She listens to your plans, offers insights, and provides encouragement in ways that are thoughtful rather than performative. If she sees an opportunity for you, she subtly guides you toward it, celebrates your progress, and cushions the impact of setbacks with her understanding. Deep investment is shown in how she prioritizes your growth and success without expecting anything in return. She doesn't compete with you, she amplifies you. Her energy is invested in helping you reach your potential because your happiness and advancement matter to her as much as they matter to herself. This level of emotional labor is significant because it requires empathy, patience, and genuine care, qualities that are only present when a woman is truly invested. She also advocates for you quietly. Advocacy in this context isn't just about standing up for you publicly. It's about defending your interests, validating your perspective, and influencing her environment to create favorable conditions for you. She will correct misconceptions, shield you from unnecessary criticism, and even subtly influence decisions in your favor. This advocacy is rarely overt or performative. It happens behind the scenes, in ways that ensure you are supported without making you feel indebted or embarrassed. The invested woman understands that protecting and advocating for someone she cares about is a powerful form of love, and she wields it with discretion, intelligence, and grace. An invested woman also senses your emotional state and adjusts her behavior accordingly. She knows when to step in, when to pull back, and when to provide a buffer against the challenges life throws at you. She offers a safe space for your vulnerabilities without making them feel like burdens. This ability to intuitively respond to your needs, often before you even voice them, signals a deep emotional connection. She doesn't act out of fear, obligation, or manipulation. She acts because your well-being genuinely matters to her. This kind of protective behavior is subtle but unmistakable when observed over time, and it is rarely performed for attention or recognition. Another hallmark of her investment is consistency. She doesn't show support, advocacy, or protection sporadically or only when convenient. She is present in the small, everyday moments that matter, as well as during the significant challenges that test your resilience. Whether it's handling minor irritations, offering perspective during conflicts, or simply being there when no one else is, her presence is a steady, unwavering force. The quiet, continuous effort she invests is a reflection of her dedication and her deep emotional connection. It is a signal that her commitment is not fleeting, conditional, or superficial. It is embedded in her behavior and priorities. Her protection and support also extend to her social environment. She manages interactions in ways that prevent unnecessary friction, shields you from gossip, and ensures that your reputation is maintained. She will navigate her social circles, friends, or professional environments in ways that include you and support your image, even if it requires subtle manipulation of circumstances. This isn't about controlling outcomes or bending situations for personal gain. It's about creating a stable and safe environment for you, because your security and peace of mind are important to her. It's an often invisible form of investment that is extraordinarily telling of her emotional depth. Deeply invested women also combine their advocacy with patience. They understand that life is not linear, that challenges will arise, and that mistakes are inevitable. They don't withdraw their support when times get difficult. Instead, they increase their investment in subtle ways. She will remain a stabilizing presence, helping to guide, buffer, and encourage you when others might falter or lose interest. Her commitment is not transactional. She doesn't calculate returns or measure gratitude. She gives because she cares, because your life and emotional experience matter enough for her to invest consistently over time. This type of investment also demonstrates foresight. She doesn't simply react to your immediate needs. She anticipates potential challenges and positions herself to support you in advance. She recognizes patterns, understands risks, and prepares to act quietly when necessary. This foresight is a product of emotional intelligence, empathy, and genuine investment in your life trajectory. It shows that her commitment is not impulsive or temporary. It is thoughtful, deliberate, and enduring. Finally, the quiet nature of her protection, support, and advocacy is what makes it so powerful. She does not seek recognition, validation, or reciprocation for her efforts. Her investment is intrinsic. She is motivated by care, loyalty, and the emotional bond she feels. These actions are not performed for social approval or to manipulate outcomes. They are authentic expressions of deep emotional commitment. When observed carefully, patterns emerge. Small gestures of shielding, encouragement, patience, foresight, and quiet advocacy that, together, reveal a profound level of investment that goes far beyond words or conventional displays of affection.